My child, listen to me. This is not just another video. This is a divine interruption. I'm stepping into your moment because I'll not wait any longer. You felt the tension, sensed the shift, and have seen the signs, and now I'm speaking directly to you. Not a general word, not a vague encouragement, but a surgical strike from my spirit to your soul. Don't give up on me. This is a turning point. What you hear today will answer questions you've carried for years and unlock doors you stopped knocking on. Stay until the very end. Even if your hands tremble, even if your heart races, stay. Because I'm not just giving information, I'm delivering activation alignment and acceleration. Every second you listen, you step deeper into what I've been preparing all along. And when I finish speaking, nothing in your life will look the same. My beloved, slow down and listen, not with the ears of flesh, but with the depth of your spirit, for I have hovered in quiet watchfulness longer than you realize. I have stood over you in moments when you thought I had turned my face away, when the silence between us felt like distance, like rejection, like abandonment. But I was never upset. I was not hiding behind the veil of heaven, unconcerned with your aching, unaware of your prayers. I was nearer than breath, closer than thought, standing guard in the unseen, measuring every weight upon your shoulders, every flicker of hope still burning inside your chest. I did not speak because you were being formed. I did not rush to respond because I was watching the trembling beauty of your becoming. There are truths too deep for premature ears, revelations too radiant for unready hearts. And so I waited, not because I lacked desire to speak, but because I loved you enough to let you grow strong enough to hear me. You see, child, I don't speak to fill space. I don't release words just to soothe your momentary fears. My voice carries creation. My words don't echo empty. They build. They shatter chains. They breathe life into what others have buried. And what I have to say to you now is not for comfort only. It is for commissioning. That is why I waited. I watched your tears fall in the night when no one saw. I watched you stand silently in rooms where your presence felt overlooked. I saw the strength you didn't even know you had begun to rise from the ashes of what tried to break you. And I said to the courts of heaven, not yet. He's not ready. He's not ready. But oh, they're getting close. I waited for the shaking to shape you. I waited for the silence to sanctify you. And now, as I peer upon your heart, as I measure the depth of your ache against the strength of your surrender, I say this with certainty. You are ready to hear what I couldn't say before. I'll not wait any longer. My words have been waiting behind the curtain of time. And now I tear the veil. I am about to speak things into your spirit that will realign your entire journey. You are not the same person who first cried out. And I am not giving you recycled comfort. I am giving you revelation fresh and holy, because you have made room for me to do so. My child, enough of the wondering, enough of the whispering winds that made you question whether I was still near. Today the silence breaks. Heaven is no longer holding its breath. I'm not simply speaking. I'm proclaiming. I'm not hiding. I'm heralding. I'm not dropping subtle signs. I'm sounding a trumpet blast into your soul. I have waited patiently, but I will wait no longer. I will not watch you stumble through another hour believing I am distant. I will not allow another lie to live in your mind that says I've forgotten you, that I've moved on, that I've redirected my goodness towards someone else, more worthy, more righteous, more whole. That is not the truth, and you know it. You've known it deep down. That flicker that never fully extinguished. That strange warmth in the middle of your cold nights that wasn't your imagination. That was me, beloved. And now I will make it undeniable. I am raising my voice, not in fury, but in fire, not in anger, but in awakening. This is the moment where I thunder into your timeline and leave no doubt. I am here. I am speaking, and I am not letting you walk without me. There is a divine disruption rippling through your atmosphere right now. Do you feel it? That tightness in your chest, that racing in your spirit, that trembling sense that something enormous is unfolding. That's me. That's my nearness, saturating your surroundings. I am raising my voice, not because I want to frighten you, but because I want to free you. I want to pierce through the fog that fear has wrapped around your mind. I want to shatter the stale silence that suffocated your hope. I want to chase away the shadows of confusion that made you question your calling. You thought I was standing behind you quietly, but child, I've always been in front of you leading. And now, I roar over the waters of your soul and command every lie, every weight, every delay to scatter. You are not lost. You are not abandoned. You are not forsaken. I do not leave the ones I love behind. I raise my voice when their destiny depends on it. And I am raising my voice for you now. Not next week. Not in some vague future. Now. This is the hour of unignorable, irreversible change. Don't confuse my urgency with pressure. I'm not rushing you. I'm rescuing you. I'm not burdening you. I'm blessing you with clarity so sharp it cuts through the decades of distortion that kept you looping through false conclusions about your worth, your purpose, your voice. I am not merely whispering encouragements, and more. I am roaring confirmations. My voice is resounding in your very bones, saying you are not behind. You are not broken. You are becoming. And I am too invested in your story to let you misread the silence. What once felt like divine distance was divine timing. But the wait is over. The delay is done. The cloud is lifting. My presence isn't hidden. It's hovering. It's heavy. It is here. And every syllable I speak now is soaked in your name. Let this ring in the halls of your soul. I will not let you take another step believing I am far. For I am not just near. I am with you. In you, for you speaking now. Beloved, do you truly understand the strength I've seen in you? The kind of strength that didn't need applause, didn't need an audience, didn't wait for recognition. You've endured what others couldn't name. You've walked through weather that didn't just threaten your peace. It tried to erase your identity. The storms you faced didn't come with labels or warnings. They came dressed as confusion, as abandonment, as betrayal, as silence. You were hit by winds you couldn't predict, pulled by tides you didn't cause, drenched by downpours of sorrow that made no logical sense. And yet, you stood. You planted your feet in soil that shook beneath you. And though your knees trembled, though your heart quaked, you stayed rooted. And I watched, I witnessed, I recorded every trembling moment you chose to believe. Even when your surroundings gave you every reason to break, you didn't always feel brave. But bravery isn't loud. It's loyal. You didn't always feel powerful. But true power doesn't always roar. Sometimes it simply remains. You remained. That's what shook the heavens. That's what moved me. You didn't curse me in the silence. You didn't throw away your faith when the evidence disappeared. You didn't run when everything told you to flee. And child, that matters more than you know. In a world where many walk away, where faith is often conditional, transactional, and shallow, you stayed when the water was deep and the answers were shallow. I know what it cost you to keep standing. I know what you had to silence just to survive the night. You bore the burden of invisible warfare. You carried battles in your spirit no one around you could see. You wore smiles while bleeding. You led others while limping. and I took note of every step. Do not think for a second that heaven was indifferent. Do not believe for one moment that I overlooked the weight you carried or the war you fought. The very angels I assigned to you stood in reverent awe of your endurance, not because you never struggled, but because you didn't surrender. Your tears were counted. Your groans were echoed in glory. Every time you whispered my name with cracked lips and a tired soul, it echoed louder than the loudest worship in the crowd. You fought without knowing the name of the enemy, but your weapon was your worship. Your shield was your surrender. Your strategy was simply to stay. And I tell you this now. What you survived in secret is about to be honored in the open. The unseen victories are about to birth undeniable favor. You didn't just make it through. You've been promoted in realms you haven't yet seen. You passed tests that weren't written in books. They were written in blood, sweat, tears, and faith. And now I step into this moment to say you will never stand in a battle I did not record. You will never face a trial I did not translate into triumph. My precious child, I know it felt like I was silent. I know there were long nights where your voice echoed in the void, and nothing came back but the sound of your own breath. I know the ache of feeling like the heavens were closed, like your prayers got stuck in the ceiling tiles above your bed. I know how heavy that silence became, like a fog that never lifted, like a pause that never ended. But I must tell you what you thought was silence was sacred surveillance. I wasn't just listening. I was watching with holy eyes that missed nothing. I was inspecting the architecture of your trust, testing the tensile strength of your surrender. I was examining how deep your faith could anchor when the waves never seemed to stop. And child, you didn't break. You bent. You wept. You wondered. But you never truly walked away. And in the kingdom, that kind of faith is not forgotten. It is forged into legacy. Your pain wasn't pointless. Your pressure wasn't punishment. It was preparation. And even the parts you would have erased, if you could, I am redeeming them now every second. There were nights when you laid in bed, staring into darkness, not knowing if you could take one more step without unraveling. There were mornings you woke up with a weight on your chest that words couldn't define. And still you showed up. Still you whispered my name. Still you chose faith. Even if it was flickering, faint, fragile. You don't realize how loud your faintest yes is in the courts of heaven. You think you were barely holding on, but what I saw was a soul being solidified. Gold doesn't glisten in the fire. It becomes pure in it. And you, my child, have been refined through every furnace, every unanswered question, every unreturned call, every door that never opened. I saw it all, and I used it all, not to punish you, but to position you, not to crush you, but to crown you. Let me say this clearly. Nothing, absolutely nothing was wasted. Every hour you spent wondering if you missed me, I was weaving meaning through mystery. You prayed for clarity, but I was cultivating endurance. You asked for quick answers, but I was working in eternal layers. You didn't see movement, but I was laying foundation stones beneath your spirit that generations will stand on. You were waiting for me to speak, and I was waiting for the exact moment your soul could sustain what I was preparing to reveal. That moment is now. This is why the storms increased. This is why the quiets stretch. I wasn't ignoring you. I was insulating you from counterfeit comfort, from shallow shortcuts, from temporary distractions. I needed you to crave the sound of my voice more than the applause of men. And now you do. You're not the same. And now, because your faith grew through silence, I am breaking the silence with glory. Child of my heart, listen to me closely. You have never cried a tear I didn't collect. And I know what it's like to sit surrounded by people and still feel unseen. I've watched you perform strength like a play, wearing smiles, like armor, nodding in conversations, while your spirit sat weeping in the shadows. I saw you all. I sat with you when you broke in bathrooms between meetings. I lingered beside you when you stared at your phone, hoping for a call that never came. I was there when you curled up on the floor and whispered, "God, do you even see me?" Oh, child, I not only saw you, I was bending low enough to catch the tears before they hit the ground. You thought they disappeared. But in heaven, tears don't evaporate. They echo. They cry out for justice. They carry weight. They are not wasted drops. They are divine documents of your pain. And I've kept every one. You've grown used to being the strong one, the pillar, the reliable, the encourager. But I know the cost of that kind of role. I know how heavy it gets to be the one others lean on while you secretly stagger under burdens no one has asked you about. But I ask through the aching in your chest, through the sudden floods of emotion you tried to swallow. I ask through the lyrics that brought tears to your eyes in traffic. I ask with silence that invited your truth to rise to the surface. I didn't need you to impress me. I needed you to invite me. And child, I came not after the storm, but right into the center of it. I didn't come when you had it all together. I came when you had nothing left but fumes and faith. And I stayed not for performance, not for perfection, for you, the real you, the one behind the brave face, the one nobody checked on, the one who encouraged others while bleeding inside. That's who I came for. And now hear me. You are not invisible in my kingdom. You are not forgotten in my story. You are not passed over in my plan. You are known, named, numbered, noticed. I have tracked your footsteps when no one offered you a map. I have guarded your soul when no one even knew you were slipping. You've carried silent grief, the kind that doesn't make noise, but leaves heaviness everywhere. And I'm telling you now, the weeping you did in private is about to be answered in public. The healing you cried out for in the dark is about to be unveiled in the light, and not because you forced it, but because I won't allow one more day of you believing that I didn't notice. I noticed. I responded. I answered. And I am not leaving your side. The tears you shed alone were the prayers that moved me the most. And now, my child, turn your mourning into dancing, not symbolic dancing. Real, radiant, irreversible joy. What once felt like silence will now thunder with evidence. Because when others missed you, I marked you. Beloved, stop hiding those questions in the folds of your soul. I've already heard them. You whispered them into the silence like fragile confessions, afraid they might offend me, afraid they might prove your faith was failing. But child faith isn't the absence of questions. It's the courage to carry them to me. And you did. Even when you thought I wasn't listening, I was. I listened with love that leans in, not away. I heard the inner ache when you watched others walk in blessings you've begged for. I felt the ache behind the smiles, the tension in your prayers. You didn't dare say it out loud, but your soul did. God, where are you? And I say this without hesitation. I was there, not pacing above you in some distant heaven. I was wrapped around your silence like a blanket. I was sitting beside you in the sacred ache. I never moved. I never blinked. I never left. You buried your doubts under layers of spiritual performance, saying the right things, doing the right things, nodding when people said, "Just trust God." But inside your heart was unraveling in the quiet. And I honored that honesty. I didn't turn away from your trembling trust. I drew nearer. You see, child, I am not fragile. Your questions don't frighten me. Your doubts don't disqualify you. In fact, it's in those moments of raw honesty that your heart becomes most aligned with mine. That's when trust becomes real, not rehearsed. That's when relationship deepens. Not with loud declarations, but with whispered desperation. I don't need polished phrases. I crave proximity. And you gave me that even while pretending to be strong for everyone else. You performed strength like a seasoned actor. But I saw the breaking beneath. And still I stayed. Let me tell you something beautiful and dangerous. The kind of truth that shatters shame. I don't just remain with you when your faith is flawless. I remain when your faith is fractured. When you're not sure what to believe, when your prayers are more sighs than sentences. When you don't feel me, but you still talk to me. That, child, is the kind of faith that moves mountains. Not the loud faith, but the loyal one. You walked into rooms and carried your pain like a hidden wound wrapped beneath your laughter. And I saw through every layer. I touched the places no one else could reach, the spots where fear and fatigue had made their home. And I spoke my presence there. You didn't always hear it, but you always felt it. That unexplainable strength that showed up when you ran out. That peace that made no sense in the storm. That was me answering the very question your heart didn't dare voice. Are you still with me? Yes. And child, yes. Always. Always. Even in the unraveling, especially then. So now let the truth of my nearness settle your heart. Let the lie that said you were alone melt under the warmth of my voice. You are not invisible. You are not being punished. You are being preserved. Even your silence was sacred ground, a place where I was more active than you could imagine. And now I'm peeling back the layers, not to shame you, but to show you just how close I've been the whole time. You buried the questions under strength, but I'm raising the answers through surrender. And the answer is this: I never left. Child, I know the waiting hurt. I know how it bruised your hope. How you thought maybe this just wasn't meant for me. I watched as the calendar flipped and the prayers remained unanswered. I saw how you laid hands on dreams that felt like tombs. I know the sting of seeing others receive what looked like your promise while your hands remained empty. But listen to me now. Delay is not denial. Delay is design. I wasn't denying your request. I was developing your capacity. What I have for you is too holy to deliver to an unready heart. And I love you too much to let a blessing arrive before its appointed hour, before it could be held with wholeness. You thought my silence meant you had missed it. But no, beloved, my silence was me sealing the promise, protecting it, wrapping it in time, hiding it in heaven's vault, until your hands were strengthened by surrender and your spirit steadied by storms. What I have for you doesn't just bless, it burdens with beauty, with responsibility, with purpose. And I could not pour oil over a vessel that was cracked with doubt and leaky with comparison. I needed to refine you so you could hold the weight of what I'm bringing. This wasn't punishment. This was preservation. You are not behind. You're right on time, my time. And the time is now beginning to crack open. The hourglass is turning, and the oil is about to flow. You see, there's a kind of maturity that doesn't come from age, but from obedience, from the quiet unseen. Yes, from choosing me again and again, when other things looked easier. You've grown in ways you can't see. Your roots have deepened in the dark. And because of that, I'm lifting the hold. I'm removing the holy hesitation that protected you. The delay was never to tease you. It was to align you. You were asking me for answers, and I was preparing you for outcomes. Now, what I've stored is ready. And more importantly, you are ready. Ready to receive what your previous self couldn't have carried. Ready to steward what your wounded self would have sabotaged. Ready to walk through doors that only open when maturity meets divine timing. So do not resent the delay. Reframe it. The waiting built walls of strength around your spirit. It purified your discernment. You removed the counterfeit from your reach. And now I'm bringing the real thing, the divine thing. Not just what you wanted, but what I always intended. What I've prepared isn't just a blessing. It's a blueprint. It's breakthrough with purpose. It's provision wrapped in power. And child, it's not late. It's not secondhand. It's sacredly timed, sealed in glory, and tailored to your DNA. I never forgot. I never withheld from cruelty. I held back from compassion because I refused to let you carry something holy with hands that were still healing. But now, you're whole enough. Now, you're healed enough. And I'm lifting the veil. The delay is breaking. The blessing is breaking through. Look at me, beloved. Lock your spirit into mine for just a moment longer. Because what I'm about to declare isn't just a message. It's a heavenly movement. All of creation is holding its breath because something sacred is shifting, and your name is carved on the next page of destiny. I'm not speaking vaguely. I'm not speaking generally. I'm calling your name with a tone only your spirit knows. This is personal. This is holy. This is for you. I've delayed long enough, not out of reluctance, but out of love. But now I cannot wait. I will not wait. The silence has served its purpose. The stillness has forged your soul. And now I'm stepping into the center of your circumstances. Not gently, but gloriously. This is not the hour of hints. It's the hour of heavenly headlines. What I am about to do will be so unmistakably divine, so undeniably mine, that no one will be able to take credit. This breakthrough will carry the fragrance of my presence, the weight of my will, and the precision of my plan. Heaven isn't guessing. Heaven is gathering. Angels are moving in swift formation. Assignments that were held in stasis are now being activated with authority. Yours is among them. I'm not knocking quietly anymore. I'm stepping through the door. I'm walking into the very space where your heart has been hoping. And I'm doing it without hesitation. You need to know that all of heaven has been waiting for this green light. I wasn't stalling. I was aligning. I was placing the final strokes on a divine canvas you thought had been abandoned. But beloved, I was painting all along behind the curtain beneath the surface beyond your understanding. And now I remove the veil. What you thought was dormant was actually gathering speed. What felt stuck is about to surge. What seems silent is about to speak volumes. I am moving boldly not only in your direction, but for your name. Yes, your name. The one etched on my palm. The one whispered in your darkest hour. The one heaven celebrates even when the earth misunderstands. And hear me. I'm not doing this quietly. I am doing this in such a way that even the things that once opposed you will have to confess, this is God. I'm not simply fixing a few things in your life. I'm reordering the entire atmosphere around your name. I'm reversing verdicts, rerouting plans, and reintroducing you in the spirit realm as one approved by heaven. You have stood through storms with very little support. You held on to hope by a thread. And now, child, I'm honoring every ounce of your endurance with an outpouring that can't be measured by human expectation. I am not late. I am strategic. I am not passive. I am precise. I am not waiting anymore. I am moving for your name. For the name I wrote in the scroll of fulfillment before the foundations of the world. And this time, no one, no voice, no enemy, no fear can stop what I've set in motion. Heaven is no longer on hold. It is on the move. If this word has resonated deep within your spirit, do not keep it to yourself. I am inviting you to respond to me right now. If you believe that I am with you, and that your season of silence is breaking, type Amen in the comments. Write what you are believing me for in this new season. Your declaration of faith activates something in the spirit realm. If this message has strengthened your heart like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear that they are not forgotten and that I am still moving on their behalf. As you like, comment, and share, you are partnering with heaven to release this word to more of my children. Your engagement is not small. It carries weight in the spirit. Subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the next word I release in this season. I am speaking. I am moving. And I am using your voice to reach others who are waiting. Do it now, beloved. Your response matters more than you know. Amen.